Hello, y'all. We're gonna try and stream some Donkey Kong. For whatever reason, and I need to figure this out, when the machine is in attract mode, it like works fine. I don't notice any issues with the screen um having it like I don't notice any screen issues. But for whatever reason, when I press the button, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start playing now, then that's when we're getting these issues with the screen not adjusting to the correct resolution or anything. So nope, that didn't do anything. Mm. I don't know. I don't know. Tried messing around with a couple wires and stuff. I don't know if it worked. Um, I'm at a different angle than usual because I pulled my machine out from the wall a little bit so I can look into the back. I don't know. Hopefully it cooperates. If it's like a little out of scale but stays that way, it's not a huge deal. I'll just play with it like that. As long as the screen doesn't go out, we can make it work. um, and that's fine. And if it, goes out and doesn't want to come back on, like if I unplug it and plug it back in, doesn't want to come back on, we'll just, end the stream wherever that is, wherever that happens to be. Wow. It's like, no, I don't want to be on camera tonight. And I'm like, come on. I already went like all weekend not playing games on this thing. I was waiting out. Ooh, don't like the looks of this. Do not like the looks of this. This could end up being like a 3-minute stream if the monitor doesn't want to cooperate. Hopefully it stop. God, it's just so annoying because like I don't know how to fix this. Because like I've tried, like I found those wires that plug into the PCB board and I plugged them in, and like I've tried messing with the board attached to the back of the monitor, so like there's got to be like a weak connection somewhere or something, like a part of the board or a connection that's just fried or something, and I just don't know enough about doing maintenance on these machines to really give it a good go. And as I've mentioned, I'm like a little scared too, considering that these old tube monitors can carry an electrical charge for a very long time, and I don't really have experience working with tube monitors, so I don't know. Maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe it just needed to figure its life out a little bit after being turned on. Cause like that was my theory. I was like, okay, maybe it wigs out if I start playing it too soon after I turn it on, and it like needs a warm up period. Like that sounds like a thing that could be. Oh shit. Okay. I thought that Firefox was gonna freeze at the top of that right ladder, so that's why I was like point pressing, because I was like, oh, I got a little bit more time, and then he started going towards me. And I was like, oh, I do not have more time, actually. Nice swag barrel. All right. So yeah, just vibing tonight. I went on my rant earlier, and I'm just like, ugh, I'm tired now. It just doesn't help when it just took me forever to fall asleep last night. I hate it when that happens. I hate when I get insomnia, which, oops, spoiler alert, is like all the time. Shit, god damn it. I keep paying attention to where the barrels are, up there. My nose is runny because I had spicy food for dinner. I was not bothered at all duration of dinner, and now that I'm like, you know, trying to play Donkey Kong and stream, it's like your nose is gonna be runny now, and it's gonna be super annoying. Ooh, I got lucky there. Yeah, I keep paying attention at the top. I keep paying attention to like where the barrel DK is throwing is going, as opposed to paying attention to the timing of the barrels coming towards me off that girder, which is what I should be doing, because that's like the second or third time now where I've jumped just too early as the barrel's falling off the edge there. I just jumped too early in anticipation. Come on, you can do it. I'm just watching the screen like slowly get wider and wider, and I'm hoping it doesn't get to the point where the bottom leftmost ladder on rivets isn't visible, because that makes it really hard. Alright. A little slow, but that's fine for first springs. That's fine. So today, after I streamed, actually I think before I streamed, I don't know, time is an illusion and it's fake. I decided to start watching Infinity Train, because I've heard really good things about it from some friends who I think have good taste in like shows and media and whatnot. And it's on HBO Max, which I have access to thanks to my brother. So I started watching it. I am through the first season already, and it is a very good show. Can confirm, very good. Really interesting concept. And I'm like a couple episodes into season 2, and I am excited to see where things go and continue to move, because it's cool, it's interesting. And it's like a fresh concept for a cartoon too, so I'm here for it. And the thing I didn't know was like it's made by Cartoon Network Studios. Like I didn't realize this was like a network cartoon when I was hearing people talk about it. Like I didn't know much about it. I just knew there was like something to do with like numbers and redeeming yourself, and your number changes like when you redeem yourself or whatever. That's all I knew before I started watching it. And when I found it on HBO, it was like, you know, it's like Cartoon Network, and I was like, oh, I thought this was like, you know, a more niche thing, like, you know, like an exclusive animation to like a streaming service or something somebody was like doing on YouTube or whatever. Because it just didn't sound like something that like a major like a major network would pick up as a cartoon. But it's very cool that it is. It's really interesting that it's that it is a you know, Cartoon Network show, I guess. And it's just been fun, like, cause they just get like the guest stars who like make these little cameos are great. And it's definitely like one of those things where it's like you're watching it and you're like, is that so and so? And then like it's been 4 or 5 episodes. Shoot, stupid fire guy. It's been 4 or 5 episodes where I'm like, was that so and so? And I'm like waiting through the credits, and I'm like waiting to get to the voice actors, and then, you know, trying to pause, but the credits go so quick because they're fucking animation credits. So they're just zipping through them, and I'm like, no, gotta go back, gotta inch back a little bit, see who that was. Because that's something that that is like a nerdy little thing that I'm pretty good at, is I'm good at recognizing voice actors, because, you know, a lot of them, like, even if they are good at doing, like, you know, different voices and stuff, they have certain vocal tics, and, like, once you hear that, you're like, oh, it's so-and-so, like, I know who this is. Like, Tom Kenny is definitely one of those. Like, even when he's doing a voice that's very different, there's, like, certain things where you're just like, that's Tom Kenny. So yeah, a couple of times I'm in a couple episodes of Infinity Train. I've just been like, was that what I watched one and I was like, was that Wayne Knight? And sure enough, in the credit sequence, it's like, oh, Wayne Knight, and I was like, oh yeah, I was right. I'm so good at listening to stuff. Ugh, it got wider. No. Ugh, gosh, okay. This is annoying. Ugh, come on, come on. Hi, Bugaboo. Um, and in the last episode I watched, where they're just like, a very obviously riffing on RuPaul's Drag Race. Uh, they're very obviously riffing on RuPaul's Drag Race, and there's like this, Queen Sashay who shows up, and I was listening, and I was like, all right, I definitely 100% recognize this voice. Like, this is somebody who was on Drag Race. Let me listen a little bit more. And I was like, is that BB? And sure enough, at the end, like, pause the credits real quick. BB Zahara Benet, and I'm like, it was BB. And that's just, I think that's something that's really interesting about voice acting is, and I guess like another, to a lesser extent, like, oh my god, dude, get off my dick. I should have just jumped over the rivet and hoped he turned in the other direction instead of trying to climb up the ladder. Ugh, okay. Excuse me. But yeah, that's something that is fun, I think, about voice acting and, like, to a lesser extent acting, is just like, you like recognize someone and you're just like, is that so and so? And you're just like, so you're in this. Oh my god, this fucking screen, I swear to god. I'm just wanting it to cooperate. Come on. Like, I don't know why it's the screen. Like, all the other controls are fine. Oh, jeez. Yeah, like, when I started watching Infinity Train, I was just sitting there and I was like, why does this protagonist sound so damn familiar? I'm sitting there going, your voice is so familiar, I can't quite place it. And this is incredibly frustrating to me that I cannot place it. So, end of first episode, I paused the credits at the voice actor credit screen. It's like Ashley Johnson. I'm like, that name is incredibly familiar. Why can't I place it? Like, who is that? And so, I had to go to IMDb and look it up. And it's like, okay, what are you known for? Why do I know your voice? Shit, god damn it. Why do I know your voice? Because it's definitely familiar. It's like on the tip of my tongue, like, edge of my brain. Like, why is your voice familiar? And I'm scrolling through like the known for, and it's like, oh, she's been Gwen on Ben 10. And I'm like, okay, I didn't watch a ton of Ben 10. Like, that's definitely part of it. But, like, no, there's something I know more. And I keep scrolling, and it's like, she was Tara in Teen Titans. And I'm like, that's it. That's who you did. That's who you are. So I was just like, oh, okay, that's why the voice is so familiar. And hilariously enough, my sister came home. I had Infinity Train on. I was like finishing up work. And then after work, she comes in my room and like chit chats like we usually do. And she's like, oh, what are you watching? And I was like, oh, Infinity Train. She's like, okay, yeah, because for a second when I got home, I thought you were watching Teen Titans because I heard Tara. And I'm like, of course you immediately knew. And I was sitting here trying to place it, like, oh, God, I know that voice. And my sister's immediately like, what are you watching with Tara in it? Like, so maybe I'm not as good at recognizing voice actors as I think I am. Oof, oof. Lucked out there. Alright. Can I get this blue barrel? Yes! That's fine. Shit, fuck! God damn it. Alright, we're resetting. It's the first board. I don't like dying on the first board. But yeah, Infinity Train's really good. And I'm not even through all of it yet. And I highly recommend it. I'm really hoping that now that work's slowing down a bit, and I have like some more slow periods in my day, that I can start catching up on the backlog of things I've been wanting to watch for a while. Because like, you know, typically, hi Bug, he's so cute. He's just chilling in the little space between some arcade machines. Because you know, when I was like at peak season and whatnot, I was just like tossing on random like cooking competition shows and stuff just to give me something to listen to. That like I didn't need to pay as much attention to visually. But now that work has slowed down a little bit, I have a little bit more time to like, you know, I can like pause what I'm doing for a little bit and you know, watch something a little bit more actively. I mean, I'm still doing my work. I'm doing everything that's assigned to me and like getting it done on time. And you know, if somebody asks me for something, I'm like, yeah, sure, let me get it to you right away. But you know, it's nice to give myself just like a little break, considering you know how hectic my schedule was for so long. But anyway, I digress. So you know, I was like watching like Hell's Kitchen and Guys Grocery Games and Kitchen Nightmares and like stuff like that I didn't really have to pay active attention to. It was definitely just more than so. Here's some background noise to you know keep me from going completely insane. And now that stuff has slowed down a little bit, I'm like, okay, I can like put on stuff that I want to pay a little bit more active attention to. So you know maybe I can start working through ad you know, on my radar to watch. And I mean, there's been a couple exceptions to the rule. I've definitely watched some stuff. Like, when the last season of Kipo dropped, I was like, I'll give this show a try. I haven't really seen it. I haven't heard much about it. But, you know, seems fun. And then I like watched it and I was like, oh shit, this show's really fucking good. Why are more people not talking about it? Which I feel has just kind of been the trend of a lot of the Netflix shows that I've watched. Like I watched a decent amount of you know Netflix animated originals. And you know, like all the ones I've seen have been pretty good. And like I know certain ones have just like blown up. Like obviously Voltron was huge. Like that absolutely blew up. I stopped watching Voltron because after the whole queer baiting thing where they're like, we're gonna introduce Shiro's gay lover and he's gonna be a crucial character, and then they immediately killed him like 5 minutes later. That was bullshit. Don't do that. If you're a writer, don't do that. Don't be like hyping yourself up for introducing a gay character and then immediately killing them off. Like, that's dumb. But like, Voltron was pretty good. Like, I was thoroughly enjoying it before I stopped watching it. I've heard good things about Dragon Prince. Have not watched it yet. That's like on my list of like, oh, maybe I should give that a watch. She-Ra blew up. Like people loved She-Ra, and like immediately people loved She-Ra. I mean, like, fuck, I got distracted by the wild barrel. And rightfully so. She-Ra was really good. It was a fun time. But yeah, I just feel like there's like these other shows on Netflix that like people don't really talk about that are really good. Like as I said, I didn't hear anything about Kipo, and then I like you know heard the last season dropped, and I was like, oh, I'll give it a shot, and it was really really good. And like people talked about it a little bit after the last season dropped, but I didn't hear like anything about it leading up to that point. And it could just be that like, you know, I'm not on Tumblr anymore, so I feel like you know maybe there's shows that are bigger in like the Tumblr aspect of things. Like maybe the fandom is like bigger, more active on Tumblr. I don't know. I don't go there anymore. I just vibe on Twitter, but also like I follow a lot of people who are in the animation industry on Twitter rather. So I don't really shit. That was me attempting barrel control and failing, and almost dying. Glad I didn't. There we go. But yeah, like I follow a lot of people who are in the animation industry or like who are artists who like cartoons and anime and stuff, so they do talk about it a lot, or at least like with some frequency. And like I just didn't hear anything about Kipo, and then I watched it and I was like, wow, this show's fucking good. And like another one, Carmen Sandiego. Like I didn't hear anything about Carmen Sandiego. I just kind of like decided to watch it on a whim because I was like, ooh, this looks like it has a fun animation style. Like, I'll fuck with you, Carmen Sandiego. Um, and then that was really good too. like, I really enjoyed Carmen Sandiego a lot. And I'm not all biased because like one of the characters definitely like looking at him, I'm just like, if my OC Phlox was done in this style, he would look exactly like this guy. I was like 100%. That is what he would look like. He would 100% look like Inspector Davino, who was a delightful character. But like, yeah, Carmen Sandiego was like a really fun time, and that's another show that I just didn't hear people talking about very much, and that ended recently as well. And then what was it, like 2 weeks ago? I watched shit. Fuck. The Firefox got me. Had he not gotten me, I would have just fallen to my death there because I walked off the edge of the girder. And I haven't heard people talking about Kid Cosmic either. I watched that a couple weeks ago. And again, that was another one that was on a whim. It just kind of started auto playing on Netflix when I logged in. Because like I pulled up Netflix and then like went to type an email or something while it pulled up, and it started auto playing like the little preview to convince you to watch it. And I was like, this preview actually did what it was supposed to do, and it convinced me to watch the show because it seemed fun. And I haven't really heard people talking about Kid Cosmic either, which is interesting to me because it's like I had a thoroughly enjoyable time. I think it's a lot of fun. And I mean, I'm biased because like it's by Craig McCracken, and I like pretty much everything he does. That's definitely like flavor of childhood stuff. So, I'm a big fan of his work overall. I tried watching Wander Over Yonder, and I just couldn't get over it. I just couldn't get into it. I did not like Wander as a protagonist, so I was just like, this is not gonna happen. And I had some friends who like really enjoyed the show and really liked it. We're like, oh, this is a good show. Like, it's a fun time. And I was like, oh yeah, sure, I'll give it a watch. And I started watching it, and I was like, no, I don't like this. Which was unfortunate because like I love Powerpuff Girls, I love Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. So I was like, oh, this will be fun. Like, I didn't. It wasn't for me. And you know what? That's okay. Not everything is made for me. And if I don't enjoy something, that's okay. I can just choose not to consume it and just leave it be. I don't need to shit on it. I don't need to like rant about it. It just wasn't for me, and that's okay. Because Kid Cosmic was 100% my jam. I really enjoyed that. And I'm looking forward to more seasons of that. So, hopefully that works out, and we can get more of that, because that show is, as I said, 100% my jam. And again, like, I'm just surprised that I'm not hearing more people talk about it. And maybe it's part of my own bias where I'm just like, this was a really good show. Why aren't people talking about it? And maybe it's just not other people's jams like it is my jam. Like, that could very well be. So yeah, like Netflix animation has been like killing it. They've been making great shows. Even I watched the Jurassic Park Camp Cretaceous cartoon. And I think I mentioned this on a stream like last week or something. But Camp Cretaceous, like, it was solid. Like, it was a fun time. The characters can get a little annoying at points, but overall I think they did a good job. Like, it's interesting. You know, I'll definitely watch season 3 when it comes out, which I don't think is going to be for a while because I think season 2 just dropped um, a couple weeks ago. But yeah, like even that is pretty good and fun. You know, despite being like we're a shameless tie-in to a popular franchise, and you know, making content that is more kid-friendly, surely to sell more toys. But yeah, like it was a fun time. Like I had a good time watching the couple seasons of that are out. So I definitely just need to, you know, I think after Infinity Train, I'll just go see what else is on Netflix and their original animations, and maybe I'll watch Dragon Prince. Because again, I've heard good overall good things about it, and I've got a friend who really likes it. So, and again, somebody whose opinions I trust on media. So, maybe I'll give that a watch. But it's nice because I'm like, it feels like it's been forever since I've watched cartoons, and I'm like, damn, you watch cartoons all the time. Like when the Animaniacs reboot dropped, a couple months ago, you watched the entire thing in one day. You blasted through all of Kipo in like two or 3 days. Like that was one that I was like, oh, this is so good. I'm just gonna blast through it. Camp Cretaceous took me like about a week to get through. That one was a little bit more off and on. Kid Cosmic, that was one that I watched in a day. And that one was easier to watch in a day because it was only 10 episodes. So that was, easier just to kind of plow through. Alright, come on. Don't go up. Come on. Oh my gosh. Okay, come on. Alright, that's one on the left side. Ugh. Alright. But I don't know. I feel like I keep watching like cartoons and stuff, and it's like I don't feel like I'm watching anything. But maybe it's just because like I'm not necessarily like talking about what I'm watching a lot, which I feel like is that's just like a general vibe that I personally am used to. Because sometimes when my friends are like, "Oh, this thing's really good. I think you'd enjoy it," I go, "Oh yeah, sure, I'll watch it, or I'll read it." But like I don't usually do the same to other people. Like occasionally I'm like, yo, this is really good, you should watch it. But most of the time I'm just kind of content to just consume my media and then just vibe by myself. Like I'm very frequently that's something that I just do. I'm just like, oh, this is media that I'm choosing to consume, and I'm just gonna avoid that wild barrel, thankfully. This is media that phooey, goddammit. That I'm just gonna kind of watch. And maybe I'll like mention it once in conversation and be like, oh, you might enjoy this, but I don't like being pushy about people watching things or reading things that I'm into. Because like sometimes if people are too pushy with me, I'm just like, like, maybe I'll consume it at some point, but don't be pushy. Otherwise, I'm just not motivated to do it. And then, to be fair, usually what happens is like then I finally years later I consume the media and I'm like, oh, that was really good. And my friend's like, I told you, I told you it was good. I told you would enjoy it. And I'm like, yeah, but I do things in the order I want. And that's just kind of how I vibe. I just do things as I feel that I want to do them. So. That's kind of the story of why I'm playing Donkey Kong right now. Is just kind of like a thing. I was like, I kind of feel like doing this. Let's just do it for funsies. And here we are. But yeah, I'm just used to, I'm just used to like consuming media and being like, I know and love this thing. Oh gosh, come on. I know and love this thing. I don't know about other people, but I enjoy it. Oh gosh. Shit, motherfucker. Oh god. I was trying to get that hammer because this guy scares me. But that didn't happen. Damn it, motherfucker. Okay. No! Stupid pie factory. Uh, stupid Pie Factory. I mean, 75,000, almost 76,000 is nothing to sneeze at, but that was just annoying. Okay, I'm gonna take this. We're gonna just get a very brief, oh my gosh, the wire isn't long enough! Alright, we're just gonna pick up this whole thing and just move it over. Look at him! Look at him! He's just being a little baby. He likes being by his Omer. He just wants to vibe. Alright. Actually, that's fine. Yeah. And yeah, my super professional camera setup. I have my webcam hooked around the handle for my box of drill bits for my power drill. And that's my super professional streaming setup. So I can have multiple cameras. Because I have my laptop down here, and that's the built-in webcam is what I'm using as the face cam, so you can actually see me. But yeah, definitely just gonna like, yeah, like I'm not the kind to like necessarily recommend stuff to people just because I think partially it's like I get a little bit paranoid. I'm like, but will they like it? Like, what if they don't like it? And then I look like a fool. Which I know realistically my friends would just be like, yeah, you know, it wasn't for me. Like, they'll give it the old college try and be like, yeah, it just wasn't for me. And we'll be super chill about it, but I'm like, but what if they don't like it? What if they hate me after I tell them to watch a thing and then they don't like it? That would be terrible. You know, casual. Alright, cool. Alright, jump and up. Alright. Yeah, bug. He's so cute. I can't get over it. So yeah, I just kind of like exist in my little media cocoon where I just like watch whatever the fuck I want, whenever the fuck I want, and my, you know, my flights of fancy just kind of shift with the wind, and I just go from watching completely different things and just enjoy doing so. Like, you know, I keep saying that I have a very carefully curated Netflix algorithm. Like, my Netflix is so good, like, it always suggests stuff that I like. And I, you know, was talking to a friend of mine, and she was just kind of like, you know, Danny, I think, like, everyone I know complains about how the Netflix algorithm sucks. I think you just like it because you like so many different things. So so it's suggesting to you to watch a huge variety of things. And just because you enjoy things, it works for you. But a lot of other people don't like the algorithm. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Like, that's definitely my vibe. I'm just like, I like things. And you know, my interests are just so varied. Even as something as simple as like, fuck, god damn it, ugh, not great. Don't like that. Even as something as simple as like TV shows. Because you know, I like my reality competition shows, and I like my cooking shows, and I like my cartoons, and you know, I like my horror shows, and I like my superhero shows, and you know, I'll also just like watch other random stuff if I hear good things about it, and decide, hey, I feel like watching this. Like, oh, I'm a hoe for documentaries. I watch a lot of documentaries. Both film and docuseries. So like that's another thing where it's just like, do you want to watch a true crime documentary? And I'm like, which one? Yes, please. So yeah, maybe it's not so much that my Netflix algorithm is carefully curated as it is like I just watch a bunch of varied things. So it's like, I don't know, maybe you like this, and I go, yeah, maybe I will like that. Let's give it a try. You know, like, the advertising works on me. Put it in front of me enough times, and eventually I'll be like, yeah, sure, why not? Let's give it a watch. Why not? That's definitely my vibes. Oh my gosh, I didn't even grab the purse. Ooh, what am I doing? I don't know. Streaming an arcade game to strangers on the internet. That's what I'm doing. Rambling about TV shows. without even really saying anything of substance. Just like, yeah, I like these shows. Don't understand why there's not more people talking about them. I don't know. There we go. That was slight. God, that's it's like slight redemption for losing that life. Wish I hadn't lost that life. That's okay though. That's okay though. Yeah. Just media is good. Art is good. Consuming art is good for you. I think that's important. It's probably part of the reason why I just like consume so much varied shit. Is like I just have a wide array of interests, and also I'm just like consuming a variety of media is good. Like, you know, like if you want to watch the same kind of show over and over again, like, you know, you do you. Do what makes you happy. Life's too short. To, you know, go through things that make you unhappy. Just you do you. But for me personally, I like seeing lots of different things from like different perspectives, or, you know, following different characters from different kinds of creators and stuff. Like, I just enjoy things. And I think that's like a very apt description of me, is that I just enjoy. Are there things I don't enjoy and heavily dislike? Oh, for sure. Like, there are things I hate, absolutely, but you know, shy of like some light ribbing to people I'm actually close with, I'm not gonna dunk on something I don't like. Like, for example, I just don't like baseball. I'm just not a fan. It's just not for me. But I'm adamant that, like, I just don't want to watch a baseball game on TV. Like, if I go to a ballpark in person, I'll be happy to go, because I do like live sporting events. You know, even if I'm not a huge fan of the sport itself, you know, I'll go to a sporting event and probably have a good time. So, you know, if people like, oh gosh, damn, that was really bad. Rivets is kicking my ass tonight. I like jumped backwards, so I jumped super low, and like bounced super low. Had I done a normal jump, my normal bounce to get that hammer, I wouldn't have done that, and I would have an extra life. Oh well. But like, so I don't like baseball, but I whenever I say I don't like baseball, I almost always add the caveat that, like, I don't like watching it on TV. Going to a ballpark and watching it in person is fine. Like, I'm happy to do that. Is that because then I can drink beer and eat hot dogs? Absolutely. That is 100% it, pretty much. Also, there's just, like, you know, something different about, like, when you go to a sporting event and the crowd is there and people get into it, like, that I can respect and appreciate, even if it's not a sport that I personally enjoy. And as I said, like, I'll give people in my life, like, who enjoy baseball, I'll give them like a little bit of shit, but, you know, I'm not gonna go on a 30-minute tirade about why I don't like baseball and why I think it's boring, blah blah blah. Because I mean, like, frankly, I love football, and I can easily see why people who don't like football would think it's boring, or, you know, take objection to how violent it is. Like, yeah, totally, I get it. Because yeah, I mean, like, my partner, she's a big baseball fan, and I will admit I haven't done nearly as much learning about baseball as she has learned about football, because she's not a big fan of football, but she has learned a lot about football, and, you know, and pretty actively asks me about like how my fantasy football team is doing and stuff while that's happening. Bless her heart. So, yeah, she really likes baseball, and I definitely don't put that same amount of effort into, you know, like, learning all the players' names, or, you know, keeping track of all the standings and stuff for her team. Go White Sox. But like, I care enough that in my little sports news app, I'm like, okay, I'll turn on news notifications. Like I'll set the White Sox as one of my favorite teams, so I'll get news notifications about them, and damn it, I'll get news notifications about them, and like when the games are going on, then I get updates on the game, so I can at least be informed enough to be like, oh, like saw the White Sox won this week, won last night, or sorry, the White Sox lost. That sucks. Like, and during the summer when I was commuting to and from work, I would since my commute was only 15 minutes or so, instead of dealing with like hooking up my phone to the Bluetooth in my car and like listening to music and having to decide what music to listen to, I just found a pretty generic sports radio station and would just listen to that on my way to and from work. Damn it, I jumped and I knew I shouldn't have jumped, but I did it anyway because I'm naughty. So this sports news network, like they would do, they would like just like talk about things in general. What's going on in the wide world of sports, but then usually on my commute home, it would, sorry, alright, cool. Alright, part way into my commute home, it would, go to, like, the baseball show, where these guys would just talk about baseball for, like, an hour. And I'm like, respect to you, I'll listen to this for, like, the 5-10 minutes remaining in my commute. Oh my gosh, okay, that worked out okay. I'll listen to this for like the 5 to 10 remaining minutes to my commute, but like I could never listen to baseball sports talk for an hour. Like hell, I don't even know if I could really listen to like football sports talk for an hour without getting bored. Like I enjoy football and I enjoy sports, but just not that much. Like my brother is a big sports guy. Like he loves sports. Like he has multiple TVs in his den so he can watch multiple games at the same time. Like during NFL season, he'll have the Bears game or like whatever game we get in our local market on one TV, and the other team he has NFL Red Zone, which is like the highlights program. So it just shows the waiting for this guy to like try and go down. And I'm like, Danny, you need to be like climbing down a ladder for this guy to come down. Oh, he's just gonna go up instead. Fine, whatever. Alright. It's fine. Gosh, damn it. Ugh. Again, the rivets board. The rivets board kicked my ass. Ugh. Come on. Don't be like. Come on. Nope. Maybe. Maybe. I'm gonna just leave it for a second. Hope for the best. And so yeah, so my brother, he's got his TV set up so he can watch multiple sports games at the same time. Like he frequently talks about, he's like, oh yeah, I've got like, sometimes he messaged because like we have a group chat where with like my brother or my sister and I and like some mutual like sports interested friends. Like we have a group chat, and like I'm honestly just kind of there so I can see what people are gambling on, and then do some gambling. It's legal in my state. Don't do it if it's legal in your state. Call 1-800-GAMBLE if you or anyone you know has a gambling problem. Got my PSA out of the way. So my brother will like you know, just like off the cuff saying like, yeah, I've got like 3 screens going right now. I've got, you know, one TV's on soccer, one TV's on NHL, and I got another one like basketball or tennis or whatever. And I'm just like, dude, like respect, but also that's so much. That is so much. Like that's a lot of sports. And even I, as like a sports adjacent person, I'm just like, nah, not for me. Not for me. Um, that almost ended poorly. Uh, okay. There we go. Cool. That worked out okay. Whew. But yeah, even as a sports adjacent person, I'm like, that's a lot. Like, and I will say, like, if I go to like a sports bar for, if I go to a sports bar on Sunday for like football games, then I am watching multiple games at the same time. Like I am paying attention. You know, if the Bears are playing, um, if the Bears are playing, then I'm paying attention to the Bears primarily, but I'm definitely like keeping an eye on other games depending on who I have on my fantasy football team, and if those are people are playing, or if my opponent that week has people playing, I'll pay lesser attention to that. So like, you know, I will pay. I can split my focus between multiple TVs for multiple sporting events, but it's also just a lot. And I don't do it constantly. Like, I'm not gonna lie, as much as I love football, by the time football season's over, I am pretty done with football. Like, I'm usually kind of burnt out on football, and I'm like, okay, we're done for the season. I can, you know, get my Sundays back. You know, like not worry about wanting to watch as much football as possible. And like even this year, where I wasn't able to watch as much because I wasn't going to bars on Sundays to watch as many games as possible. I would just like stick around at home with my sister, and we would just watch again like whatever games we got in the local market. We would just watch those. And even so, like the weekend after the Super Bowl, I was like, oh, no more football until like August at the earliest. That's a little sad, but I, you know, would have liked like another week or two of football. But I was also like, you know, I'm good with football being over now. Again, I'm good with having my Sundays back and not focusing them all entirely on what football games are on. And I mean, like to an extent, like you know, I try and in a normal year, like make weekend plans like around Bears games in particular. Like my partner, bless her soul, is like, well, like if I'm trying to make plans with her, and it's like, well, I have Sunday off, but I know you like to watch football, and I'm like, I'd rather see you than watch football. Like, I can miss, damn it, I can miss a week of football. It's not a big deal. Like, you know, I can miss one Bears game. It's not the end of the world. um, and she's like, oh, are you sure? And like checks with me like 5 times that it's okay that I'm not watching the Bears game that week because we're doing something else. And I'm like, I promise it is fine. Do I prefer to watch the Bears? Like, yeah, sure. But, you know, again, like I don't place more importance on this sports team that I arbitrarily cheer for based on geography than I do my relationship with my significant other. Like, you know, and again, like she's, you know, she's very cool, and um, you know, in not last year, but the year before, 2019, like there would be times where, like she would, you know, get off of work on Sunday, and we would just like go to a bar because I'd be like, I really want to watch like the rest of this game, like. Is it okay? You know, or like you know, we would just make plans like, okay, we're gonna go hang out at this bar, and we're gonna watch a little bit of football, and then we'll go do something else. So you know, bless your soul, very very supportive, very accommodating, and and I love that about her. She's great. It was also kind of a win-win because she's an extrovert and she will just like talk to people, which I don't get. I'm very much so like I don't go out of my way to engage in conversation with people. And I don't go out of my way to engage in conversation with people, but you know, if someone strikes up a conversation with me, I'll entertain them for a little bit. And if I'm enjoying the conversation, then yeah, maybe I'll, you know, have a continued conversation with them. But if not, then I'm just like, no, we're just gonna come up with a reason to get away from this, please, and thank you. But she likes having conversations with strangers. Her weird extroverted ways. So going to a bar to watch a football game is actually kind of nice because you know, like I'll be watching the football game and, you know, we'll be having a conversation sometimes or whatever, but then, you know, occasionally she'll just like strike up a conversation with like a person sitting nearby, which is something that she very much enjoys doing. So it's kind of a win-win that we both get to do something that we enjoy. And as I said, typically afterwards we'd go and, you know, go to one of our places and, you know, play games together or watch something together. But yeah, football season's over, so I'm still getting used to like oh, I have my whole weekend to myself, haha. Which is especially weird because I think I said this on a prior stream, but just I'm so used to just like doing a lot with my free time. Like I'm very much do not like this. I was like, this is not gonna end well in any situation. There was like no stretching this, no pretending it's gonna end well. You know, a typical weekend, like I would have plans like at least 2 of 3 days. So I was a very busy person socially, despite being an introvert. Fuck me, god damn it. So that's been just like a weird thing about you know, socially distancing and everything, where it's like, oh, I don't necessarily have plans this weekend. I mean, typically by the time the weekend rolls around, I have like at least one thing on my agenda. Oh my gosh, I'll have at least one thing on my agenda. But that was 3 lives that just burned through on that barrel board. Yikes. Okay. Alright. So yeah, despite being an introvert, find myself frequently like doing just having a lot of plans and stuff, and not as much this year, and that's been a little nice. I definitely feel like I've had a lot more time to just consume media, like, you know, watching shows, but like I think more specifically, I feel like I've played a lot more games this year than I have in years past, and like maybe it just feels different because I am spending so much time just in my house, and like games are the only thing that I, you know, have not the only thing that I have going for me, but like, you know, comparatively speaking, it's like I just feel like I've spent a lot more time playing games this year than I necessarily have in years past, which is nice because I've, you know, played some games. I've played some really good games in, you know, the past 12 months. That hell, even like the past 6 months, like after moving into this place, I definitely, you know, just played games more often. Maybe just because, like, you know, we set up the downstairs and it's like, okay, this is my arcade space. So obviously I have like all my arcade machines down here, but on the other wall, I also have I've got a TV, and like all my game systems are down here, like hooked up to the TV. So, you know, it's also just like I now have like my own designated place where I can just vibe and play games. And you know, occasionally my sister will come down and like plop on the beanbag chair, plop on her beanbag chair, and like, you know, scroll through her phone a little bit while I'm playing games. But for the most part, it's just like I just kind of, when I want to play games, I just come down here and I get to vibe by myself, which is just very nice because, you know, when I was living in Japan, I was able to do that because I lived by myself. And so I would just, you know, play games in my free time. I would just, you know, I would like watch TV. That's how I got through all of the Transformers media at the time, was watching it in my apartment. Also, just like I, you know, played a bunch of games on my PC. So just like it's just like nice to have my own designated space because like I guess kind of like looping back to my little I do my kind of hermit thing where I just want to I'll like watch what I watch when I feel like it. And I don't necessarily want people giving me recommendations. I also, and this is gonna be sound really weird, but it's like, since I'm streaming this, but it's like I actively want to stream Donkey Kong, whereas like if I'm playing a game like just for me or just, you know, for funsies, like just for myself, I don't like doing that in front of people. Like I'd rather just like have my own space, like my own quiet time, and play games in that capacity. Fuck me, stupid fire guys. I would just rather, you know, do it in my own space and not have people there. So that's a nice thing about living here is that, you know, as I said, like occasionally my sister comes down and like sits for a bit while I'm playing something, but you know, she's usually at fuck me. God damn it. I should have just committed to going up and jumping over the barrels. I should have just committed to the. This is gross and bad. And again, it's different like when I'm in the mood to stream and I feel like, okay, I feel. God damn it. You know, it's like it's different in this situation because like I'm like I actively want to stream, like this is something I'm choosing to do, but it's like when I just want to vibe and not be bothered. It's just nice to have my own space where I can just go and do that, and vibe and play what I want and not be bothered. Ugh. Okay. Ugh. Ugh. Alright, come on. Alright. And that's just been something that's been very nice about this house, is that I do have the space in the basement where I can just vibe and play games, and I didn't even realize how much I was like playing games, really, until my sister pointed it out, because like for my birthday, she's like, "Oh, I went in with the family to get you something, so you're not getting much, but you're getting like one big thing basically from all of us." And I was like, "Okay, what are you getting me for my birthday? That's weird." And my family got me a Nintendo Switch because mine was broken, and I could play it in handheld mode, but it was like a complete it is a complete pain in the ass to do so. Yeah, princess. Do you want to play? Is that it? Yeah? Yeah? I played with you earlier and then you walked away. You had no interest in playing earlier. You were screaming to play. And then we played a little bit and then you were like, "No, I'm done." Cats. I love them. Yeah? Alright, there we go. Yeah? Oh my goodness, she's just flopped on the floor. Ugh. As you can see, it's extended far enough where I can't see that leftmost ladder, so that's fun. I can barely see the hammer even. That's no good. Yeah, maybe I'll call it after this run, despite how good or bad it is, just because I'm a little tired tonight. After struggling to fall asleep last night, I should try and get to bed somewhat early, and apparently my cat wants to hang out with me or whatever. So anyway, so like my family got me a Switch, and I was just like, oh, thank you. Like, you know, I was getting by with my old Switch, and my sister's like, your old Switch was like super jank, and you play your Switch pretty much every day, so that's why we got you a new one. And I was like, do I? And I realized that, you know, yes, in fact, like pretty much since Hades came out, I had been playing my Switch every day. um, not so much before Hades, but like Hades just kind of started a string of games on my Switch that I just wanted to play consistently and like was doing in my free time. It didn't actually start like it started when Hades came out, but not with Hades, because Hades came out and you know obviously everyone was like talking about it. It absolutely blew up, um, and I was like, oh, like you know, Supergiant Games, like they make good stuff. But you know, I really shouldn't get another video game right now. I have so many video games that I just haven't played, so I should, you know, focus on playing games that I already have. So like back in the spring, I had purchased Bastion and Transistor for my Switch. Bastion I had played a little bit of before, but I had so much difficulty going diagonally on my computer, like using a keyboard, um, and mouse, that I was like, I very quickly I was like, this is not, no, this is not working. Then I always kind of had the thought like, if only I could like play it on a console or something, then you know I can more easily control it, and I can definitely run on a diagonal on a console. The tippity bottom of my foot hit that pie and I died. Unfortunate. Gosh, that's frustrating. Ugh. Oof. Whatever. Um, ugh. Fire Guys again. Ugh, so frustrating. Alright, we'll do one more. But first I gotta show her off. I gotta show off the princess. Look at her! The camera doesn't even know what to focus on because she's such a void. She's such a void. Alright. Let me... Ugh. Yeah, I only got 42,000 that round. That's not great. Minda, do you want to say hi? Yeah? Yeah? Hi? Hi? Hi. Oh, who's a princess? Who's a princess? Say hi to your adoring fans. Nope. Nope, you want to get down. Okay, there you go. She tolerates me at best. I won't pick you up again, I promise. I won't pick you up again. Alright, so we'll do like one more because I was in the middle of a topic. But yeah, so Hades came out. Everyone was talking about Hades, and I was like, I haven't actually played through the entirety of a Supergiant game. So I'm gonna do that. I'll start with Bastion because that was the first one. Hi. And I have it on my Switch now, and I should be able to handle running on diagonals with a joystick, and it'll just be better for me. So, I'm sorry, Minda is just like on the arcade machine next to me and distracting me. So I played through Bastion, and I think that week, I was like experiencing some COVID symptoms, so I was like, I shouldn't come into work because I'm not feeling well. I'm experiencing symptoms of COVID. Let me go get a COVID test, and I'll just stay home. And the office was like, okay. And that was actually the week where I convinced them to let me work from home because I was like, hey, you know, if you just like give me my computer, I can work from home, and then you know that way stuff isn't falling behind just because I'm out of the office. And my manager agreed to that. I actually think he really only agreed to me working from home until I felt better. but they never asked me to come back in the office. So here we are. I'm still working from home. Which, I mean, just makes sense. Like, I'm trained, so I don't need to go into the office, for training or anything. So it doesn't make sense for me to go in and risk getting sick or potentially getting other people sick if I'm asymptomatic or whatever, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so I was, like, taking days off of work anyway because I was experiencing COVID symptoms, was waiting for the results of my test, and hadn't yet gotten work from home privileges. So I played through Bastion in a day. And I was like, wow, that was a really good game. That was super fun. I want more. So then the next day, I played through Transistor. And I was like, all right, we're gonna... Come on, leave me alone. So the next day, I played through Transistor, which my partner, she loves Supergiant games. And, like, I knew a little bit about Bastion, but she talks more about Transistor and Pyre. So, and I was like, I don't know anything about these games. So I played through Transistor, and again, I beat that in a day. And I was like, damn, that was a good game too. All right. I was like, okay, like, I've played the Supergiant games I own. I shouldn't get another one. And then it was like, oh, to celebrate the release of Hades, all of our games are on sale on Steam. And I was like, all right, I'll buy Pyre for Steam because, I checked online and they're like, we're not making any plans to, like, port it to Switch anytime soon. So I was like, okay, this one I'll get on PC. I have a controller that I can plug into my computer now, so, even if it's easier to play with a controller, I'm good now, which it was. I didn't even bother trying with the keyboard. I was like, we're just gonna play with the controller. So I played through Pyre again, and that was a long day, I will say. I did beat that in a day. It was a long day, and it was definitely, like, I stayed up late to do so. I actually think that was the day where they had me drive to the office so the IT guy could dump my computer into my car. And I, like, went over in the afternoon, so, like, drove over, got my computer into my car, and then drove back home and set it up. And my boss is like, oh yeah, just, like, make sure things are working, connect to networks, like, check your emails and stuff, and, do that today. So I did, like, work a few hours that day. But yeah, I played through Pyre in one day. And then I started a second playthrough of Pyre because that game definitely is very well designed in the aspect of, like, we want you to replay this. And there's all these different choices that you can make and things that you can do that makes it worthwhile to replay it, because the story is going to be different every time. So I started a second playthrough and was deeply enjoying it. But then, like, people just kept talking about and hyping up Hades, and I was like, alright, I've really enjoyed every other one of these games that I've played this week. Everyone's hype about Hades. I don't want to miss out on this hype for once. Like, because normally I'm just kind of, as I said, content to just do my hermit thing and do what I want when I want. But I was just like, everyone's hyping up this game. I'm just going to bite the bullet and I'll buy it. It's like $20 or whatever. So I did. And then I played Hades every day. Like, I think I bought it on, like, a Friday after I got paid. And then, like, literally every day, I bought it on my Switch. Like, literally every day I was playing Hades. Like, during my lunch break, Hades. After work, Hades. On the weekend, Hades. Like, I played a shit ton of Hades. And that just kind of, like... And that went on for several months, frankly. And then that just kind of, like, sparked me playing games on my Switch again, because I just hadn't really for months, and I am kind of kicking myself, because I'm like, well, had I known I wasn't going to be playing games on my Switch for, 2-3 months, I would have sent it in for repairs. I could have not been dealing with, like, my janky setup to try and get things to work, but, it is what it is. So yeah, I played Hades, like, pretty much every day, for a long-ass time. I think I dabbled in, like, some other stuff briefly, and then for Christmas, I asked for, a couple of... I asked for, this like Jurassic Park game for Switch where you like make your own Jurassic Park. And you know it's a park management game. I asked for that, and I asked for like the Pokemon Sword expansion pass because I had not actually bothered to purchase that for myself, despite really enjoying Pokemon Sword. Um, so you know, I went ahead and like asked for. Oh, God, okay. Oh no! Ugh, I swear. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Son of a bitch! These fucking fire guys. That's like the fourth time I've died that way, because I'm like, he's frozen, I'm gonna climb up the rest of the way, it'll be fine. Stupid. They're just extra annoying on this map, because it's like they're the only obstacle other than the pies, and I say the pies are easy to avoid. Not necessarily, but like, yeah. Alright. He's gonna spawn on this side again. Okay, fine. Alright. I'll just climb up this way. The annoying thing about my screen doing this is like I can't see the edges of the screen where the upper conveyor belt is. Alright. Oh my god. Yeah, we might just... Yeah, this might just be it. The screen doesn't come back in, I can't keep playing. So yeah, then I went to playing this Jurassic Park game like every day. I might have played some Skyrim before Jurassic Park, actually. And maybe I went to Skyrim for like about a month before Christmas. And then, yeah, like, you know, so I got that for Christmas. I haven't even touched the Pokemon expansion pass yet. And I haven't been playing my Switch as much recently. Just because I've been obviously playing arcade games and stuff, but I was like, oh, that was actually a very good, thoughtful present for me because I do play my Switch very, very frequently, and it is nice to just be able to like pick up and play it and not have to worry about doing this absurd, almost arcane ritual. Hello, in order to play it. So, plus the extra battery life's nice because I had a very early Switch, and now I have newer one that has better battery. So, all right, that's it for tonight. Obviously, arcade machines broke. Can't keep playing Donkey Kong, and Midna has once again flopped by my feet. So she wants me to pet her and or play with her. So thanks for coming by. Hopefully I can figure out the issue with the screen. Maybe I'll like look up some tutorials tomorrow and see if there's anything else I can do with my limited capacity to do things. Because again, don't want to lethally electrocute myself. But it was a good time. Thank you for coming by and listening to me talk about video games and cartoons and stuff. As always, follow me on Twitch. Cross post videos over to my YouTube. So thanks a bunch, and I'll see you next time.